Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Microbusinesses on a Mission Live. I am excited today to introduce to you a company that produces something that I enjoy every day. And this particular beverage has a purpose. So I would like to invite you to meet a new friend of mine, Melissa Brown.
Everything, just so you know.
Hey, Melissa. How
Hey
are you?
there. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to introduce you to everyone who's going to watch this either live or on replay. I know a little bit about you, but maybe you could introduce yourselves to those who would watch this Micro
Sure.
Businesses on a Mission live.
Yes. So I'm Melissa Brown. I started a Wellbeing Coffee Company just under 8 years ago. It was actually 8 years ago I walked my first coffee farm in Nicaragua. We were on a trip to visit my parents down there who moved down in '02 to start a nonprofit, New Song Mission Nicaragua. Actually, they didn't know they were starting a nonprofit. It just kind of happened. And I tried for years to get my husband to let us move down there. And it just turned out that he said no, and I had to figure out a different way to get to Nicaragua more often. So I'm sure we'll talk more about the story in a little bit, but started Wellbeing, mom, entrepreneur, and coffee lover.
Me too. So you've always had a thing for coffee, and you've always had a thing for business. It seems like
Yeah.
for a while before you started this.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, I mean, even as a kid, I always enjoyed making money. So I grew up, we didn't have a lot, and there were five of us kids. And, my parents were church planners. And so there's not a whole lot of money in that. And so if I wanted something, I had to work for it. So even at 11 years old, all summer, I would watch Brian Thompson. He was a 7-year-old, and his parents paid me $50 a week. And I would go from 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. I'd cook dinner, I'd clean. What a
Wow.
steal, right? But I got it was so crazy. But I thought I was making over $200 a month. So I was getting the steal. But I just always like to work and make money, but I also like to do good somehow. And so that's why I was able to start Wellbeing and kind of mix those two loves.
So how exactly did it happen? Like, did you just find a coffee place? Like, how exactly did the company start?
Oh, man. So I knew I wanted to start a business. I didn't know what. And so my husband and I had looked for about 2.5 years in different types of ideas, mostly franchises, because again, we didn't really know what we were doing.
Mhm.
But then there was something about franchises that took the fun away because I'm an entrepreneur. I like to create and develop. And so when you get into a franchise, the model's already created, which is what most people want. But for
Mhm.
me, it seemed a little boring. So I'm like, well, let's do our own thing. And so when we were going on that coffee farm excursion in Nicaragua, I said, babe, why don't we do this? Why don't we import coffee beans and sell it and take the proceeds and give back to New Song? And that's how we can partner with my parents. And he was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, it'll be easy. Everybody loves coffee, as every entrepreneur thinks. We're super optimistic, which can get us in trouble sometimes. So we started importing coffee and we were thinking retail. So we started a little coffee cart on Southeastern Seminary's campus in Wake Forest, which was a hot mess on its own. I got great business experience, but lost quite a bit of money. But that's okay. That happens in business at
You had
first.
fun?
Yeah. And so I talked my husband into letting me do a second try at coffee. And we started a little drive through coffee shop. And for people who live in Raleigh or Wake Forest, it was the little teeny green and white building at the corner of Capitol and Burlington Mills. It was just a double side, 8 foot by 8 foot drive through building. It was tiny. Um, a lot of fun. It got us a lot of attention because it was on a big road, but not a moneymaker. And the whole goal is to make money to give money. And so if we weren't making any money, then it didn't fit the goal. So we sold that for a loss. So again, we've lost money twice. And then I said to my husband, I need one more shot. One. Now get this, we'd spent all of our money and we were in debt. We
Oh
had
my
two young
goodness.
kids. And so I was not working and I had left a 6-figure job to come and not make any money. But then we were spending all of our money, which was really hard on our marriage, on our life, on everything. And so everyone around me made me feel like I should quit and go get a job. But there was just this thing that's like, no, this is what happens in business. So stick with it. And I'm so glad we did. I realized people kept saying, "Can you deliver coffee to my office?" I'm like, "Yeah, I could do that." And then I started thinking, wait a minute, they'll sign a contract if I just put equipment in their break room to be exclusive with me. And the light bulb went off. And I said, let's do this. Let's do office coffee. No one's really doing it as a roaster.
Mm-hmm.
So we started that back in 2014. And it took until 2016, and then it exploded. It was just
Wow.
insane. We just had to build the credibility and the triangle, and then just account after account started coming. And so we kind of turned into this break room management company, which was not really what I wanted. I wanted to do coffee. So we ended up getting acquired by Canteen, which is a publicly traded company that does office coffee service, back in March. And get this,
Hmm.
March 9th was when we were acquired. And then everything shut down and offices closed just a week or two later. And so I just felt like God like tapping me on the shoulder and saying, I got you, and just keep moving forward. And so that's a whole nother story about post acquisition, but that's kind of the story and how we got into coffee.
And that took how many years between when you became successful with that
Yeah.
model and then?
So it was about three and a half years,
Wow.
3.5 years of terrible failure.
Lessons.
It was almost like I was in college, in business college, and it took me about that amount of time. And then the next 3.5 years were super fruitful. And what was really neat is just like the number seven. I love the number seven, and not just because I like to go to the casino every now and then, but I just love the number seven, and 7 years of completion. And it was crazy. So we closed on our business 7 years to the week that we incorporated legally. So
Wow.
pretty cool, right? So seven
Yeah.
years, and we're coming up on 8 years now, but in a different direction.
Right. And you've had to pivot since this whole pandemic started. But you're good at that.
Yeah,
I mean,
a
it
whole
sounds like
dance.
you're so good at pivoting. I mean, you've got grit, you've got persistence, and you got the dream that pushes you. That's incredible. But
Yeah.
beyond all that, I mean, you've got this fire lit inside of you, but also you have this desire to serve other
Hmm.
people. And tell me about that a little bit.
Sure. I don't know. It's just something that since I was young, I've just like, you feel good when you serve others, but it's also something just in my beliefs that this world's bigger than us and it shouldn't revolve around us. And so I feel like we're put here to serve others. And so the best way to serve others is to see what they need and love on them. And I just felt like New Song is where I needed to focus outside of my family. So my mom and dad, they weren't sent to Nicaragua by a church. They're like entrepreneurs for Jesus. I like to say because
It is a
they
business.
didn't. Yeah,
It's a
I
business
mean
of
they
souls, right?
are. Yeah, they're entrepreneurs. But
Mhm.
so when they went down, they didn't know they were starting the nonprofit, and they just wanted to help the people. And but my mom was doing all the fundraising. And so she would get like $50 donations, $100 donations, but it was wearing her out. And so years of this going on, I mean, '02 until I started the business in 13. And I just felt like, she's going to get older. This is really hard to raise this much money. What can we do more sustainable? And that's where the business idea came. And the goal is to not only give people great coffee, but be able to give back and help those in Nicaragua who can't really help themselves because they just don't have the economy and the opportunity that we have here. So I don't know. I just something I feel like I was gifted with the idea and the ability to implement it.
That's just beautiful. So it's sort of like fair trade coffee, but not officially, right?
So yeah, so not certified fair trade, but I think even cooler because there's
Oh,
something called fair trade, which is the farmers are paid a fair
mhm.
wage,
Yeah.
which is generally I think $1.70 or more per pound.
Mhm.
which is really not that great when you learn about coffee and everything that it takes to grow coffee. It's
Mm-hmm.
still much better than some farmers receive. But what we wanted to do is bring in a Nicaraguan resource, the coffee, sell it here to give back. And so we met farmers there. And so we've gone every year for the last 7 years, and we go to the farm and we see
Wow.
what's changed by us buying their coffee and other roasters buying their coffee. It's brought in a lot more money. And so now they have, school, and they have a pharmacy and a kitchen. And
Wow.
so the more we can buy direct from the farmer, the better, because they make so much more money. For instance, I think we pay around $3.30 per pound. So you can imagine.
Versus
Yeah. Yeah. Now
fair
it's a,
trade. Uh-huh.
yes. And the reason is because it's super high quality. And so they
Mm-hmm.
have to spend a lot more money to get the coffee to be as good as it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
called a single origin, which means from the same farm,
Mm-hmm.
microlot, which means it's one particular lot on the farm.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really, it's an expensive bean.
Mm-hmm.
But we're happy to pay it because it's good quality, and we just want to support them.
And you've got the eye, and they maintain it, and they're
Yeah.
because they're paid well, and they know that
Yes.
you're going to give
Yeah.
back to them. There's this sort of mutually beneficial
Yeah.
relationship.
Well, what a lot of people don't know about coffee is it's only harvested once per year in most regions. And so in
Mm.
Nicaragua, it's November through early February. And so there are these farmers that come in once a year, and they work 12-plus-hour days, and they work that 3 months or so. And that's what they work for the whole year, because they're able
Oh,
to make
wow.
more during that time. But that also means they're there working 7 days a week. So their families come with them. And so with these farmers and their kids, like if there's not a school, their kids don't go to school. If there's not a pharmacy, if they get sick, what happens? So there really needed to be some money pumped in to make sure these people are cared for. And so every time I go back, it's just really exciting to see the school developed and the kids wearing clothes that are clean, and that they have clothes and shoes on. And so it's really encouraging to not only see that, but then go to New Song and then see what's happening through those donations. So that honestly is what keeps me going in the hard times of business, like right now.
Yes. But
Yeah,
that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And
sure.
it's just great to see how, we can all use business as a force for good. I mean, it sounds cliche, but it's really true, especially with stories like that. And
Hmm.
I interviewed the Women's School founder, January Donovan, and she had said something like, she was told early on, if you want to make a big impact, start a business. Like,
Yeah, it's
to
true.
give back and to do good in the world, you need a
Hmm.
business.
It's true. I mean, you can impact your local community, you can impact your staff and your employees and their family, and the people you buy from. And yeah, you're right. Big impact is possible.
That's beautiful. Well, I am excited. I would love to visit someday, but maybe you can give us
Yes.
a quick tour of
Sure.
your
Yeah.
roastery, which I
Yeah,
was
for
telling my
sure.
family, what's a roastery? I said, you'll see.
Yeah, coffee roastery. So we bring in coffee, and I'll show you what it looks like when I take you back. But this is the finished product, and we're super excited to launch. So we have, let's see if I can show you
Oh,
this. So
wow.
these are really fun bags.
They
They stand
are.
up really nice. They also talk about how we're directly traded with our Nicaraguan coffee.
Hmm.
And then New Song, how we partner with New Song, and then have a zipper around that so it keeps kind of the
Oh,
the
that's
air
new.
out of the coffee bag.
That is new, isn't it? The
Yes, but
zipper.
look at this
Okay.
cool one. Hot mess.
That's what
Th-
I'm getting.
This one I inspired
Uh,
because being a working mom, it can be a hot mess.
I love it.
um,
That's going to be a popular one, I can tell.
yeah, and then we have these cute little sample bags as well. So if
Oh, you
people don't know
do.
which coffee that they like, it's
Oh,
dosed
wow.
for a full pot of coffee. And so
Beautiful.
people can kind of try before they buy and commit to a whole bag. So,
That's a great
yeah.
idea. Is that
All
on
right,
the
I'm going to
website too?
walk you around.
Sure.
Let's see.
So right now we're in the,
Oop. I was trying to turn it around to where I could walk with it, but I will do that as soon as I get back. So bear
so
with
we were
me.
in the entrance right there in the front.
Yes, and I can take you back and show you that here in the next little bit. But oh, and of course the door's locked. Let me get my roaster. I
We
guess
don't
we'll see
want
the front.
cameras in there. High
Hey Chad,
security.
can we unlock the door to get to the roastery? This one? Okay. Yeah. Well, we're going to see the whole warehouse right now.
There you go.
We're
The
going to do
real
a loop.
deal.
Yeah.
We're seeing
So,
the real deal. Don't hold back.
yeah. So this is the walk-in cooler from when we had the office coffee service. So this area is just kind of vacant right now, and it just holds some of the coffee equipment that we had when we did the office coffee. Now this is the roastery. So we will walk back and get a little closer. We have a coffee packaging station. We have
Wow.
a lot of the green coffee. And tell me if I need to slow down. I do
Excuse
want
me.
to take
What
you.
is a green coffee? What did you say?
Okay.
Green?
So when the coffee comes from the farm, here I'll get one of the bags and show you. The coffee is literally, can you see this?
Yep. Yep.
It's green before it's roasted.
Oh, okay.
And so that's raw coffee. And
So what's
then
the brown
that,
coffee we see? There's
so
no
I'll
such
show
thing.
you. So, so what happens then is we have this almost like shop vac system where the green coffee would go in here, and then the shop vac will bring it all the way up to the top where that funnel is, and then that funnel drops it in to this big drum, and it kind of turns, and there's a fire underneath, and the fire is what obviously roasts the coffee and turns it more brown. And so this has different temperature gauges. We have all the software that kind of keeps the profile of the coffee. So when the coffee is being roasted, if you want a light roast, if you want medium roast or dark roast, I'll put it in simple terms. So coffee cracks kind of like popcorn, and a light roast, you once you hear the very first crack of the coffee bean, that you want to start cooling down at that point, and that's going to be a lighter roast. If you want a medium roast, you take it a little bit further before you get to that second crack, and then you're going to start cooling. It's a little more complicated than this, but this is in easy terms. And then finally, if you hear the second crack, that's when you start cooling for a dark roast, and the oil emerges from the bean after that second pop, and that's how you get the oily, darker roast coffee. So that is this, and then we have the coffee packaging station where you can see the coffee goes through the shop vac and all the way to the top, and then it's dosed and comes kind of out of this area. So anyways, we will be doing coffee tours eventually. But yeah, so that's the roastery, and and then we have our cold brew area where we keg cold brew as well, and deliver, and people can hook it up to their keg readers at the office and serve cold brew, which is just cold coffee on tap, and it can add some nitrogen bubbles to it, so it almost looks like a Guinness, and it's amazing. So
I've
yeah.
never tried. So are they still
Okay.
ordering those or no, not anymore?
Say that again.
Are they ordering those? Are you getting
You're
orders
breaking up a
for,
little bit. I don't know if it's my phone or,
can you hear me now?
it's like making some funny noises.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder if they're using the microwave. Have you ever
Yeah, I'm
noticed
not
that?
sure, but I know we wanted to do a giveaway, right?
Yep, that's
Yes. Oh,
exactly
you
right.
sound better now. Yay. Okay, so what we were thinking for a giveaway is for me to ask a question,
Okay.
and the first person to comment the right answer is going to pick two bags from our website, which
Ooh.
is wellbeing.com. And so wellbeing.com, you can go and read about all the different coffees we have, and you can pick two, and then we'll ship it to your house for free. So
They will
the
just contact you through the website if you tell them they want or something, or here, I guess.
yeah,
And they
yeah,
comment
I
here.
would say if you can just send me their information, I guess they could comment, and then we can get their address and info. So
Perfect.
okay, the question is,
Here we go.
which type of coffee roast has the most caffeine? Light roast, medium roast, dark roast. If it's the same, like the same bean to bean, light, medium, or dark, what's the most caffeinated?
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see who answers first. I see Alex, my friend Alex said hello. Hi, Alex.
Hi. Hey, Alex. How
There
are
he
you?
is. I think he likes coffee, so we'll see what he says. But
Yeah.
yeah, so thank you for the tour and thank you for the story behind
Yeah.
Wellbeing Coffee. It sounds really wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you.
I've gathered a little bit of it from our chats before, but this is a much bigger picture. So, in a nutshell, I guess, how would you describe how well-being coffee makes this world a better place? You've kind of told me already, but in a nutshell, what's your mission,
Yeah.
and how does it make the world a better place?
I think in the future, I have a dream of working with more nonprofits in addition to New Song, where, we source coffee from all over the world, but Nicaragua is our only direct trade right now. And so we want to find other missions around the world that are in the coffee growing regions that we can help support as well as business grows. We can kind of give back to a local mission through the coffee. So that's a dream. We have to build a whole lot more business before we could do that, just because you have to bring in so much coffee at once. But that's one way I'm hoping to make a difference in the world and just continue what we're doing with New Song. And as the business grows, putting into my staff and at the same time staying balanced with my family. So I don't know. We'll see where we're led, but the goal is to do well-being.
Nice. Well, we're rooting for you.
Thank you. Thank you
And
for
if
having
anyone,
me.
yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us today. And if
Yeah.
anyone wants to check out their website, I'll put the information below. And yeah, just answer the question, and you could get your 2 bags of coffee free shipped to you from Melissa.
Yay. That's awesome. Well,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Thanks, everyone. And please join us next year. We're not going to do one in the next couple of weeks of Micro Businesses on a Mission, so we can support micro businesses who are making this world a better place. Thank you,
Awesome.
Melissa. Bye,
Thank you. Bye,
everyone. Merry
everyone.
Christmas.